Time, the most precious currency we are all given equally. 24 hours. No more, no less. The question is not how much time we have, but how consciously we are living within it. In the Shaolin tradition, every breath, every step, and every movement is not random, it is deliberate. When you wake up each morning, you are gifted with 1,440 minutes. Each one is a seed. You can either let them be blown away by distraction or plant them through discipline to harvest mastery. But this is a misunderstanding. You do have time, you just don't control it. To manage time is to manage yourself. A monk is not faster than you, he is not stronger than you, he simply does not waste time on things that do not nourish the body, sharpen the mind, or awaken the spirit. Ask yourself, where is your time going? To master every minute like a monk, you do not need to be in a temple, you need only one thing, awareness. Breathe. Focus. On an act with intention. In the life of a monk, the day does not begin with noise, chaos, or an immediate jump into tasks. It begins with silence, a sacred stillness that serves as a gateway between the unconscious mind of sleep and the conscious intention of waking life. In this stillness lies power. The moment the eyes open, most people are already losing control of their day, checking their phones, reacting to messages, or feeling the weight of unfinished obligations. But a monk rises differently. A monk rises with awareness. The first act of the day is not to look outward but inward. In those quiet early minutes, before the world demands your attention, you must choose to give attention to yourself, your breath, your body, and your purpose. To own your morning is to reclaim the most important relationship you have, the one with yourself. You see, modern life has conditioned people to wake up and immediately move into reaction. Notifications, schedules, responsibilities, all of them shout for your attention. But the mind that reacts cannot create. The mind that is agitated cannot focus. This is why monks begin the day slowly and intentionally. Not because they are lazy, but because they understand the cost of beginning the day in haste. The speed with which most people live is not power, it is panic. The first 20 minutes after waking are the most absorbent phase of your consciousness. Your mind is like soft soil. What you plant in those minutes, peace or panic, will grow roots and spread through the rest of your day. If you plant fear, you will feel anxiety. If you plant purpose, you will move with clarity. This is not philosophy, this is neurobiology. What you do immediately after waking sets the emotional and mental tone for everything that follows. A powerful morning does not require 2 hours of rituals. What it does require is presence. Even 5 minutes of deep, intentional stillness can recalibrate your nervous system, restore your focus, and anchor your attention. Sit in silence. Breathe consciously. Feel the breath move through your nose. Place your hand on your heart and observe its rhythm. Ask yourself, how do I want to live today? Not what must I do, but how do I want to be? Do you want to act with calmness, with clarity, with purpose? Then embody that from the moment you rise. This is how monks build mental resilience, not through force, but through quiet repetition, daily intention, daily breath, daily self-check-in. You do not need a monastery to live like this. Your room, your home, your body, these are your temples. Stillness is available to everyone, but claimed by only a few. Moreover, the discipline of morning stillness is not about perfection. There will be days when the mind wanders, when the breath feels restless, when stillness is interrupted. That is not failure, that is the practice. Even monks struggle with their thoughts, but the difference is they return. Again and again they return to the breath, to the body, to the moment. This return is what creates mastery. It is the decision to return, despite distraction, that sharpens the mind like a blade. In a world addicted to stimulation, the ability to sit in silence is a superpower. It is not easy, and that is precisely why it works. By mastering your mornings, you are not just taking control of your time, you are taking command of your inner world. and once you command that, no external chaos can truly disturb you. In modern life, the obsession with time management often leads people to obsess over the clock while completely neglecting the most essential element, energy. A 24-hour day is not a flat surface of productivity potential. When you schedule your day without awareness of energy levels, you may be unknowingly fighting yourself. You might allocate your most important creative tasks to hours when your brain is foggy, distracted, or fatigued. This is how people burn out, not from working too many hours, but from working against their energy. Instead, begin your day by observing your energy curve. Ask, when do I feel most focused? When do I feel most creative? When does my body feel most alive? Identify these moments and design your time blocks around them. If your sharpest mind comes in the morning, that is when your deep creative work should happen. Don't waste it on checking emails or replying to messages. Reserve shallow administrative tasks for the hours when your energy is naturally lower. In this way you create a living schedule, not a rigid one, a schedule that breathes and flows with you, rather than boxing you in. Monks do not multitask. They believe every task deserves the fullness of attention. Whether drinking tea, walking, or sweeping the temple floor, it is done with complete presence. In the same way, your time blocks should be dedicated zones of single-minded activity. This is the key to mastery. When your time block is for writing, then write. When it is for movement, then move. When it is for resting, then rest. Blurring boundaries causes friction in the mind. Your brain resists shifting from one task to another unless it is given space to reset. So, in between time blocks, insert intentional transitions, a short walk, a stretch, a breath. This is not wasting time. It is resetting your mind for the next challenge. Each time block becomes not just a unit of time, but a ritual, a sacred container for undisturbed focus and energy investment. This practice also creates a powerful psychological shift. You begin to respect your time blocks as if they were sacred appointments. And in doing so, others begin to respect your time as well. This is how monks cultivate discipline, not through punishment but through devotion. They devote time to what nourishes their body, sharpens their mind, and elevates their spirit. When you align your schedule with your energy and honor the block you are in, your day begins to feel different. You no longer feel fragmented, pulled in all directions. You become whole, anchored in what you are doing, fully present. The hours may not be longer, but they feel deeper. This is not productivity for productivity's sake. This is conscious living, a discipline of attention and energy that leads to mastery of both time and self. Focus is not just a mental ability, it is a spiritual discipline. In a world that is constantly pulling your attention in 1,000 directions, the power to protect your focus becomes a form of inner strength. Imagine your mind as a temple. Would you allow noise, crowds, and chaos to enter such a sacred space without permission? Of course not. Yet every time you let distractions in, unnecessary notifications, mindless scrolling, gossip, or worry, you allow the sacred space of your mind to become polluted. Modern culture has normalized distraction. We celebrate multitasking as a sign of productivity, but what we are really doing is spreading our awareness so thin that nothing gets the full presence it deserves. The brain was never designed to switch rapidly between tasks. Every time you shift your attention, there is a cost. It is not just time that is lost. It is mental clarity, emotional calm, and spiritual alignment. A distracted mind is a disempowered mind. This is why focus is the foundation of mastery. Whatever you give your attention to, you give your energy to, and whatever you give your energy to, that grows. So if your energy is constantly scattered, you will feel mentally exhausted, emotionally depleted, and spiritually ungrounded. The ability to direct your attention is the ability to shape your reality. To cultivate monk-like focus in your daily life, begin by building focus sanctuaries, spaces and times during your day that are free from interruption. This doesn't require a monastery or a mountain retreat. Another way to protect your focus is through the cultivation of inner silence. Most people believe distractions only come from the outside, but some of the loudest noise is internal. Worry, doubt, unfinished thoughts, anxiety. These are inner distractions that silently consume your focus. This is why monks place great importance on meditation and mindfulness, not to escape the world, but to train the mind to become still. A still mind can see clearly. It can discern what is urgent from what is important, what is noise from what is truth. Through breath work and inner observation you begin to quiet the internal chatter. With each breath you return to the present, and the present moment is where all power resides. When you protect your focus like a temple, you don't just become more productive, you become more alive in everything you do. In a world that glorifies constant movement, stillness is often misunderstood as idleness. But to the trained mind, and especially in the teachings of the Shaolin tradition, stillness is not the absence of action, it is the foundation of deliberate action. Most people burn out not because they work too much, but because they never truly stop. Even their moments of rest are filled with noise, scrolling on devices, consuming content, overthinking past or future worries. This is not rest. It is distraction in disguise. Integrating active stillness into daily life doesn't require a dramatic change in routine. It requires presence in transition. Between your time blocks, as previously discussed, insert moments of quiet pause. After a meeting, before a meal, or even while walking from one room to another, become aware of your body, your breath, your surroundings. Feel your feet on the ground. Listen to the sounds around you without labeling them. This moment-to-moment awareness acts like a spiritual reset button. The body may be tired, but the spirit regains strength when it returns to the now. Monks live in this rhythm, a dance between effort and stillness, between tension and release. They do not wait for burnout to rest. They weave recovery into the fabric of their day, making sure their output is always aligned with inner peace. Perhaps the most profound aspect of active stillness is the way it brings you into contact with yourself. In stillness, the masks fall away. The distractions lose power. You begin to hear what you've been ignoring. Subtle signals from the body. Quiet thoughts that need acknowledgement. Intuitive nudges that get buried in busyness. Monks cherish these signals because they guide the path forward. You do not need more motivation or external pressure. You need more clarity. And clarity arises from stillness, not speed. When you sit in silence without rushing to fill it, you learn to trust yourself. Your breathing deepens. Your heart rate slows. Your nervous system shifts from survival to balance. This is not mystical. It is biological. Your body is wired for renewal. It only needs the chance to access it. That chance is created through the sacred art of active stillness. In the monastery, the day does not simply fade into night. It concludes with reflection. Just as the sunrise is greeted with stillness and intention, the sunset is met with gratitude and awareness. A monk ends the day not by collapsing into sleep, but by consciously reviewing the day's path, the thoughts that arose, the actions taken, the words spoken, and the energy carried. This closing ritual is not a formality, it is a form of integration, because if you do not pause to reflect, you carry the weight of today into tomorrow. The practice of reflection helps to lighten that weight, creating space in the mind and heart before entering rest. And when the mind is unburdened, sleep becomes not just a biological necessity, it becomes a spiritual recovery. It is in this way that the monk greets sleep, not with exhaustion, but with peace. Reflection is not about judgment, it is about observation. Most people look back on their day only to criticize themselves, what they didn't do, what went wrong, what was lacking. But that is not reflection, that is self-punishment. True reflection is honest and gentle awareness. What moments today brought you peace? What stirred restlessness in you? Were there words you spoke that carried compassion, or perhaps regret? Where did your energy go? and did it align with your deeper values? These questions are not asked to shame you, but to know yourself more deeply. A monk believes that each day carries a lesson, but only the reflective mind can receive it. Without this ritual of looking back, the days blur together, life becomes a repetition, not a refinement. Through reflection, each day becomes a stepping stone, not a loop. One of the most powerful tools of daily reflection is journaling, not as a diary, but as a mirror. A few lines each night can clarify your growth. Write down what you learned about yourself, about others, about how you reacted or responded. Acknowledge what you did well, and gently note where you lost focus or acted unconsciously. Over time, these notes become maps. Patterns emerge, strengths become clearer, and blind spots are revealed. This simple act strengthens your inner observer, the part of you that watches without judging. And the stronger this observer becomes, the more easily you can correct your course, stay centered, and live deliberately. Monks journal not to record life, but to refine life. Through the written word, they anchor their insights and set their intentions for the next day. It becomes not just a habit, but a sacred conversation with the self. The final component of ending the day like a ritual is practicing gratitude. Before the lights go out, a monk offers thanks for the breath, for the challenges, for the food, for the teachings of the day. Gratitude turns even the most ordinary day into a gift. And it is this mindset that transforms sleep from an escape into a form of surrender. You let go of the day with all its beauty and its burdens, knowing that you have harvested the lessons it offered. The mind is at peace, the heart is light, and the body is ready to rest. You do not drift into sleep full of unresolved tension. Instead, you enter rest with closure, with clarity, with calm. This is not only how a monk ends the day, it is how one prepares for the next. In the quiet stillness of night, through reflection and gratitude, the seeds of tomorrow's discipline are already being planted. You were given this day not by accident, but as a sacred opportunity. 24 hours, 1440 minutes, each one a doorway to either distraction or discipline. The monk does not seek control through force, but through presence. He does not chase time, he walks alongside it, step by step, breath by breath. When you begin your day with stillness, structure your energy wisely, protect your attention like a sacred fire, honor rest as renewal, and close your day with reflection, you are no longer reacting to life, you are living it consciously. You do not need to be in a monastery to live this way, you simply need to choose, again and again, to return to yourself. The monk's path is not distant, it is already within you. Every minute you live with awareness is a minute mastered. So ask yourself now, not how much time do I have left, but how deeply will I live the time that remains.